Hey tubers, me again. What are we? It's like Tuesday. Just want to show you guys. This is how it starts. You got the paperwork. Basically, what I do is like I have a double-sided copy. This is like the intake, because I usually get like 2, 3, 4 pieces of equipment dropped off at the same time. If you like this idea, feel free to go ahead and copy it or do whatever. So what I do is like I put, here's the intake form, and then back on over here on the other side, when you tear the page off, this is the summary of service. This is like everything that you did. Everybody gets, well, not everybody, but 99.9% of the guys get some kind of a warranty on the work. It's 30, 90, or none. And then write down the service that's performed. That's a big one down there at the bottom. Is that storage fee? Hardly ever have to do anything with that. And then it says, this warranty sheet's the only copy. You must present this sheet for warranty work. Hey, look, we misspelled warranty on the bottom. Anyways, it's their responsibility to bring it in like within the 30 days. So for instance, here is, we got a blower. First thing we're gonna do, today it's August 1st. August 1, 23, the make and the model. If you're able to find it, it's a Stihl blower. Stihl blower. I think it's bigger than a BG86, but all the stuff is pretty much worn off. I know whose it is. Anyways, and let's just call this guy Randy. And this right here where I put notes, I probably should have said customer states, but I'll show you what it is. Customer states that the muffler is loose. And it is. And he would like me to Loctite it in there. Got a funny feeling it's missing the gasket, so that's not going to be a big deal, but you guys will be along for the trip. And he also wants all his pull cords replaced. So that's what I'm going to do. We got that. Let's see. We got 2 chainsaws. This one here is just, the rope has broken. So I got to replace that. That's not going to be a big deal. And then here's the puzzling one. They're all kind of dirty. Got to get them all cleaned up. Here's a replacement cap for the fuel. Not an issue. This will not stay in. So I don't know what the deal is. But they ran it while it was dangling down. Turn the light on. Down in that hole, just for safety's sake, insurance, whatever, we're going to take and wash this thing out. And then once we get it all going, filled back up with bar oil, we're going to check it to make sure that it's oiling properly and stuff. So it's just another day in the shop. So we got 3 things. We'll get these knocked out in just a few hours. So stick around if you want to see what's going to transpire. Yeah. There's paperwork. That's how it starts. That's how it ends. Okay, you guys. So we got a Stihl blower. We got an MS 251 and an MS 250. All the symptoms of what's going on with them are all written down. And then also, this is a pretty important thing for you guys that are just starting off, is that it said for any machine to be accepted as running, you must demonstrate its ability. Because sooner or later, you're going to end up with, some guy that just dropped something off. He does not show you that it's running, and He's going to say, well, it was running when it came in here, and you're like, well, you never showed me, and that's just a CYA thing, you know, that I've always had. And why is that? Well, because you learn from experience. So anyways, guys, let's just get into it. I'm gonna find out what's going on with that there muffler. And I know there is an easy way. Oh yeah. So to take this collar off, there's a little tab right there. We're gonna take a screwdriver, push that down, unlock the collar, get that thing out of our way so that we can take off the muffler. Boom, push down, twist the collar, take it off. Close enough. All right. And I always say it, T25, T25. No, it's not a T25, it's a T27. Like one is totally gone, and the other one should just be hanging in there. Are you guys in the picture? Yep. See if we can catch that. Make it come out. I don't know why this happened here, but well, that other one's still hanging on. Here's the first one. Threads are looking a little iffy. Into the magnetic tray. So I guess technically we could just tighten those up. And that would be good. So we can get this out of there. Oh yeah. There's the other one. At least the parts are all there. Let's take a peek, see while we're here though. I've been running like that for a while. Hold on. Randy, oops. He's the same as me. I use the caster. Where's the light? Come on. There we go. He uses that the castor bean oil. We're looking down into the cylinder is what we're looking at. Hold on. No. Try to pull this over. That's why his stuff lasts so long. The inside of that, it's got a, look at that blow by. I did not put any oil or anything in there. But it still looks good. I do believe it's a runner. What is that red stuff on top? Now I'm curious. I'm going to take and put a, right on the very top of the piston, there's some red. It almost looks like, what do you call it? Permatex RTV. Did they try putting something like that on here? I don't know. Trying to see why that mating surface won't go. Yeah, that's been leaking like that for quite some time, you guys. Alright, so I want to see what that red stuff is. Actually, hold on, I'm going to grab a Q-tip. Okay, so I'm trying to get it out. Using the Q-tip, now you can actually kind of see it a little bit better. There's a bunch of RTV stuck in there. See it on the side of that port? Why wouldn't that stuff burn off? I don't get it. The light's on. Definitely RTV stuck on there. Very interesting. The only place I think that you would end up using that is if you just put a new cylinder jug or something like that on there. That's how else would it get ingested? It's all over the top of the piston. We might have to do a little exploring. Or not. Or not. I guess the thing to do is like take care of the muffler, put it on, and see if it runs. That's just so weird. I don't see any that they tried to make a gasket for it. We're gonna find a gasket. Okay. Hold on. Okay, guys, get the bolts back in here. We got a gasket for it, and I'm kind of debating which Loctite to use. Blue is medium. The red is like permanent. The only way to get the red stuff off, oh man, don't tell me I'm all out of the blue, is like to heat it up. That's what we're just gonna have to use, the red Loctite. Customer wants Loctite. If guys are starting off, want to save some money, Harbor Freight does sell this stuff. I'm the new Harbor Freight salesman. Alright, let's see if we can get this in here without messing up too much stuff. And we're just going to go and try to give it a restart. See what the heck. Alright, we caught the first one. We got lucky. There's the second one. Couple of clicks. That one's not grabbing. Tell me they stripped out the hole. Let's take a look. Now I gotta take one of these bolts out. It's always something, isn't it? You know, you guys can see. I'm just going to see if this... Nope. Seems to be okay, so maybe I just missed it. Come on, baby. The one on the left is the one that's kind of giving me trouble. So we'll try that one first. Got it. Got it. Got it. I'm willing to bet you $100 he's already took the screen off of that spark arrestor. We'll try starting it and see what happens. Push the primer. Choke. Wow. What the heck? That thing's locking up. Bad. Something is not right. Something is rotten in Denmark. Okay, I gotta get the camera off of here. Hi, Layla. Let's see if we can get it started. Why is it bucking? Too much compression? Is that the deal? Is that the deal? Switches on. I don't like this. I don't like this. That thing should be kicking off, at least trying to cough. Let's give it a blast of carb spray. Ah, bird feathers. We got bigger issues at play here. You see all that fuel? That means it needs carb work. That would explain what the bucking was. So I'm willing to bet you that if I take and I pull that spark plug out of there, flip it upside down, there's going to be a lot of fluid inside of there. So let's do that. That would explain it. Let's figure this out. It's like I said, guys. It's always something, right? Did a video on this, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 years ago. Another handheld blower. So this spark plug, when I take it out, should be like just dripping wet. Turn the light on. Where the heck's the light button? Right there. Yep. It's dripping wet. So that means what's really going on is it's starting to hydrolock, which is all starting to make sense now. You get all the clues and you put them together. When, remember earlier we were pulling that piston, pulling it over to look at the piston, and it was bubbling because there's a lot of fluid in there. So that was clue number 1. Clue number 2 was when it was bucking, trying to start it, if you kept on doing it, that would also explain why all that moisture is down under there. Obviously, like when the muffler was not, connected, it's spitting all that stuff out. And then I'm going to show you exactly what the problem is here. But now that we know this, we're going to take and flip it upside down and pull on that rope and see how much we're gonna see, since it's not gonna start, we're gonna see how much of that stuff we can actually see spitting out the bottom. I thought this was gonna be a quick one and done, but no. All right, we got the spark plug boot out of the way, setting it on its face. And with the piston kind of, or the cylinder facing straight down. And we see down here yet? Nope. Let me back you up. Right around in there. Yep. Here we go. I know you can see it. We just got to get the bulk of it out of there. So even still, you see all that. That's the metering diaphragm. That's what causes that. And sometimes those things, like, they'll lock up so bad that guys will just like sell them at a yard sale or something, and you're like, aha, I know what the problem is. So now we're just gonna put the spark plug back in. We've cleaned out most of it. Putting the spark plug back in. And now let's see if we can get it to fire off. It's obviously starting from a flooded condition, but it's these little things that you gotta look for. All right, take the light off. There we go. That little 10-cent diaphragm, that's going to be the problem. You hear the difference when I opened up the throttle? That's normally what you do when you have a flooded condition. No, it's got something else on with it too. Hey, I'm going to start it back up, and then you want to listen. When I lean on this, it revs up. It was a while back ago, if you remember. Might have been, I don't know, Ryobi or something. That the isolator block screw was loose, so when you leaned on it or picked it up, could it just be on that link, resting on that linkage? Yeah, maybe. But we got to check for air leaks too. So I'm gonna start it up and then listen to the RPMs pick up when I lean down on the handle. Okay? Listen up. Turn your volume up. absolutely the trigger and the linkage. Watch down in here. I'll turn the light on. Watch for the linkage. Okay, we got to go through that carburetor now anyways and replace that diaphragm. So we'll just got to keep in the back of our mind that we got to find out why that linkage is doing. Maybe it's just a little shock or something, but yeah, it's this handle is what's doing it. Maybe you can or you can't say, well, because I'm such a sucky camera guy. But that's what it is. That's what it is. So something that started off as easy as, first we just had to put Loctite on the bolts. We took care of that, put a gasket on it. It was bucking, it was hydrolocked partially. We took the spark plug out, we cleared it out. The RPMs and everything seemed to be fine, other than the fact that when you lean on it, that's really not a major issue. We do want to check it for air leaks. And 100%, we got to take this carburetor off and put in a new metering diaphragm. Otherwise, when it's just sitting in the back of the truck, the heat's going to go, it's going to build up pressure in the tank, it's going to go up through the carburetor, and because it slopes down, it goes down here, it goes down into the crankcase, then you go to try to start it, it's not going to start, it's super flooded, and it's partially hydrolocked. So that's what we gotta do. All right, that's it. Okay, you guys, so T27s, screw, or whatever you want to call it, bolt. Pull this cover off. This is what we need right over here. Turn your light on. That is absolutely filthy. So I don't want to take that off without, having it ingest any more crap. So, yeah, what's up with that thing while we're here? Yeah, it just leans on it. I'm looking up here at that linkage, top of your screen, why it was revving up. So let's just take the compressor, blow all the stuff off. It's 2 8mm nuts on the carb. We're going to take this off, disconnect the fuel lines, this up, and then I'll actually come back with the camera to show you that metering diaphragm that we're going to switch out. Be right back. Okay, so I took the air compressor and I just blew off a bunch of this stuff over here, you guys. Actually, I think the easiest way to move this over here for you. The easiest way to gain access to that throttle linkage is just to undo the bolts up here in the handle. So let's just do that. There's 4 of them. I think this is a BG86. And if you ever saw that one video that I did, is that right down underneath of there, under that flywheel, there's the bolt that always seems to back out, and guys think that it's seized, and it's not. So I've already peeked under there. There's no metal filings down under here, so I'm just going to call that good. Take this off. There's the linkage. There's that. Okay. Another beautiful reason for Harbor Freight. See how this skinny that is? I ground that because on a lot of these, it's an 8mm. a lot of these Stihls, and do it so you can actually see, is that you can't fit it. You can't fit a regular size socket in there. And so if you take a Harbor Freight, which is whatever, 99 cents, you can grind it down a little bit and then just keep it specifically for working on these guys. Alright, so there we go. Take this cover off. There's a little breather tube that's right there. It goes in there. Here's the cover. We'll wash that up before we put it back on. There's the gasket. Let me slide this out a little bit, and then I just use a screwdriver. I don't know if we can see any of this. I just use a screwdriver to pry these fuel lines off. You'll see probably if they leak, first thing you're going to do before you go find a clamp is loosen that gas cap, and it takes the pressure out of the tank. And then there's another one way over underneath the here. Take the gasket out of there. Way over there on that side. Can you see it? Let me turn the light on. Over there, got to reach in there and pry that one off. Well, let's do that. This is like, you know, if you've ever had to get the main seal done on your car, it's like a $10 part, but they charge you $700 just to replace that $10 part, because you got to remove so much stuff in order to get to it. Come on, baby. I know you can't see, my hands are in the way, but it's what it is. There's that. There's that pesky fuel line. Ah, that's messy. I gotta clean all that stuff up. Alright, I'm going to close the choke and spray this off again while I keep my fingers over both of these. What we want is right underneath of there. And that's going to make all the difference for this thing. So I'm going to run the compressor again. We'll be right back. Okay, that's totally workable now. It's a lot cleaner. So we're going to take and pull that bottom off and then find that diaphragm. My hands are filthy. That bulb seems to be in pretty good shape. Should probably just replace it while we're here anyways, but alright. Hope you can see. What we're looking for is, it doesn't have to be absolutely petrified, but it's going to be, the problem is that's the pump side, this is the metering side. I think I got the right side. Is that it's just going to be enough to where it's just leaning on it. Okay, that's actually the pump side. While we're here, give a little, that's the filter of the screen. We get that looking all nice and clean. Right there at the end of my thumb. This looks good. Zama carburetor. So we just cleaned out that screen. A little preventative since we're already in there. Since I have no clue as to what I'm doing. There's that. And we will end up replacing this primer bulb just because we're already in here. So hold on. Need a P2 screwdriver. we got a ton of these gaskets. Okay. 4 Phillips. So the guy, she's thinking probably, hey, it's like, why are you charging me like $50 for, just all they wanted was like a couple of bolts screwed in, tightened up, Loctited. Well, you see, sir, there's a little bit more to it than that. If I never tried to start it, I never would have found this problem, right? And then now you're the messenger. You're like, what the, who the? But the good thing is like, haha, it's all on video. So it's not petrified, that's for sure. Sorry. I don't know if I have this one. I'm gonna have to clean that up a little bit. See those wrinkles that are in there though? It keeps coming back to the down position. Watch. When I push it up, see how it keeps going down and it's leaning on it when it's going down, and when it's at rest, it's leaning on this. Let me try to get you in the best picture I can. It's leaning on that arm right there. It doesn't necessarily lift up on that needle valve over there. But by leaning on it, it releases the pressure on it. So now it's just kind of free floating in there, and the gas can make its way by. It comes through and it goes down inside the cylinder. That's what happens. So you don't need to see all of this crap, I don't think, you guys. So I'm gonna go digging around. I'm gonna find, I'll find the new one of these, and then we'll put it back together, and then it is what it is. Okay, carb's all put back together. I have cleaned up this case to go back on. The fuel line ends are all nice and clean. The gasket is still in place over here. So, see if we can get this on. I'm going to connect that hidden gas line back there first. Got to take and kind of push that handle over just a hair to get that on there. I'm going to put this throttle linkage back in so I don't forget about it. There's really nothing to it. As I fumble my way through, just got to get it in that there hole and then line it up with the trigger. Okay, that little air piece right there, got to line up with that hole. Get that right there. Oh crap. I don't think it makes a world of difference, but there is this gasket that I had on there, so we're going to put that back on. Put this cover. I can't see. Okay, that goes back in there like that. That is such a tight space in there to get these little 8mm nuts started. Oops, I'm gonna back you up just a hair. Kind of lean on it a little bit, twist it. Hopefully it'll catch. Nope. It's got fat, old, 65-year-old fingers that don't really want to go in there. Yeah, we caught it. Phew, we got lucky. I'm just tightening it, you guys. Snug, snug. Connect this other fuel line right there. Whoops. You know it's got gas in it. That should not do that, but let's check out the purge. Make sure we got fuel pickup going on. Squeaking a lot. You got nothing. Okay. I can smell the gas, but we got a little bit. All right, let's take and put this thing back together, and then we're gonna try to start it. Okay. I'm just gonna put all these covers back on, you guys. Okay, you guys. So I just went on Amazon. I am ordering up the correct metering diaphragm because it's not wanting to pick up the fuel like it normally does, and I'm sure it's because of that Mickey Mouse thing that I got. You can see it. It's enough. It should be a runner. Then when the real parts come in, I'll just say like I'll put them in for nothing. So connect that, make sure the switch is on, put the choke on. I've already primed it. Yeah. Let's just see if it'll fire off. If you want it to run right, you got to take and put the little nose piece on. Oh, that's good for it, right? I think it needs a low speed adjustment. Hold on. It's the hexagon, but trying to reach in there. I think that's what it is. I don't feel it really dropping on there. Maybe. I think it needs to be opened up just a hair. Alright, let's try it again. Definitely got to open it up. Try it again. Okay, I'm going to play with this thing a little bit. I don't think that's exactly the right size, or it's crushed or something. But anyways, a lot better than it was. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, you usually like to see a little bit more fuel sitting down there in that primer. There is some in there, but not like I'd like to see. So I'll put a little screenshot of the parts that I'm going to order, and then I'll just redo them. But no more bucking on startup. It's got good response. It's all configured the way that it's supposed to be. It's got the air filter on it. It's got the nozzle. It's got one of these ones that's kind of closed down. Whatever. So when you do the tune-up, and the muffler fix, so yeah, should be able to just go this. It's got that throttle lock. I don't know if you can see that up there where my hand is. Just so you don't have to hold the trigger all day while you're doing it. When my son used to take and use these blowers, he would sit there and go all day long, making me nuts. So you just take and put it up there. So hot start in the middle, just choke it, and then you just get. That's what I do for in the summertime. Hot restarts. Oh, come on. Okay, that's it. We're done with this one, you guys. It's funny how just one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. It is what it is. All right, guys. Now we got a couple of chainsaws to mess around with. Catch you on the next one. I'm just going to call this a BG86. That's it. We're done. We're out.